Hi, I'm Tim McCann. You may remember me from such instructional videos as Laserdisc player calibration and rotary telephone repair. Today, we're going to be looking at block printing. Block printing is an ancient printing technique and art form from 7th century China that is completed by pressing a hand-carved wood or linoleum block onto paper or fabric. And it's a practice kept alive today by college students needing an art credit after finding out that the painting classes are filled up. Before we start, let's take a look at the supplies that we're going to need. Linoleum block, gouge tools, sharpening strop, baren, a brayer, block printing ink, India ink, paintbrush, a non-slip mat, a glass slab, newsprint paper, mixed media paper for printing, soap and water, and paper towel. By the end of this video, you're going to find out how we can take this boring piece of linoleum and create a handcrafted piece of art. Carving will be easier if the block is painted with India ink before an image is drawn or transferred onto the block, but this step isn't necessary. You can draw with any type of tool directly on the block, such as pencil, pen, marker, or a pre-drawn image can be transferred on using red oxide transfer paper or any other comparable product. And at this stage, it is important to know that whatever is drawn and carved into the block will be printed in reverse. You can use a wide range of gouge tools to carve your block. Try experimenting with different size U or V tools, and if possible, practice making marks on a small scrap piece of linoleum before starting on your good block to be used for printing. If you make a mistake while carving, you have two options. Cry in the shower and gently rock the bad feelings away, or use wood filler to patch up mistakes and continue carving. The choice is all yours. Inking your block is a step that requires some trial and error in order to find out just how much ink is required to make a clean print. It is easy to both under-ink and over-ink your block, so it is recommended that you start with a small amount. Water-based printmaking ink is also recommended to make cleanup as easy as possible. Place a small amount of ink on a piece of glass or plexiglass and spread out with a rubber brayer. You will be ready to ink the block when you hear a tacky Velcro sound as the ink is being rolled on the glass slab. Cover the entire block with a thin layer of ink. You will need to pick up more ink from the slab and make multiple passes over the entire block. Remember, this is a step that requires some trial and error to perfect. Once the block is inked, you will want to make test prints in order to figure out if you have too little or too much ink on your block. Prep multiple sheets of newsprint or scrap paper to use for test printing. And remember, you will need to re-ink your block every time you print. Carefully place the newsprint down on top of your block. You can use a special tool called a baren to transfer your image to the paper, but a wooden spoon can work just as well. Apply pressure with a baren tool in a circular motion to transfer the ink to the paper. And be sure to move the baren or spoon over every part of the block. And now, the moment of truth. Carefully remove the paper from the block. If the first print appears faded or does not fully transfer, we once again have two options. Go back to the tried and tested act of crying in the shower. Or you can simply roll out more ink on the block than you did previously and try printing again. Repeat this process until you have a clean, fully inked print. You can also print on almost any type of paper. Use a heavier mixed media paper for your good prints. Give your artwork a title, and remember to sign and number your prints based on how many you make. Allow your prints to dry for at least 24 hours, and do not stack your prints before they are dry. Clean up using a soap and water mix and wipe down all surfaces and tools with paper towels or rags. You can also wipe down everything with a water and vinegar mix to make sure that no soap residue is left behind. Congratulations! You are now a printmaker and part of a time-honored tradition. Now it's time to sit back in awe of all of your hard work and imagine what we will be capable of once we figure out how to print with computers.